What is up, everybody? You are very welcome along to this Leeds preview here on Anfield Agenda. Here's how things are going to work. So, if you're tuning in, you just want to know the predicted 11, the predicted score, you'll probably only need the first 5-10 minutes of this video. The rest of it will be just me interacting with the chat, as always, having a little bit of fun and looking ahead to a massive game again on Wednesday night, one which I'm very much looking forward to as we build towards the League Cup final, of course, at the weekend against Chelsea at Wembley. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for it. Look, my friends, as always, we're delighted to say that we are being brought to you today with thanks to our friends at SPITCH. SPITCH is a fantasy football manager game that allows you to prove your knowledge against other managers and win a share of the prize pool, which is as high as £70,000 each week. SPITCH offers games from multiple football leagues, including the Premier League, the Bundesliga, and of course, the Champions League. You can create a brand new lineup every week and play any weeks that you want to play. There are paid pitches. There are also free pitches. Entirely up to you which one you want to use. Once a match day kicks off, you'll receive points based on the usual things like stats, goals, shots, tackles, etc. Stats are available inside the app as well for individual players once the game week kicks off. You must be 18 years or over. Please do have your ID ready on sign up and a resident of the UK to play. You'll see a second link in the description, and that is to help you join the SPITCH community where you can basically join more leagues, learn stuff and previews and lots of other fun interactive things. Thank you to SPITCH for their continued support. Right, gents and ladies, how the hell are we? We get straight into it. We go straight to the prediction. And then we'll come back and we'll do some interactive stuff with the chat. Let me just change scenes really quickly. Do you know what's really weird? I checked that. I checked that just before we started. Genuinely checked it just before I started. Anyway, we'll go again. So, pretend that didn't happen. Now you can hear me. We'll go again. So this is what happens when Connor's not around. An idiot is left to his own devices and boom. So, I got you. I got you. Come on, you thought you had me there. Right, look, 4-2. That's the score I'm going to go with. And the reason I'm going with such a high scoring game is Leeds tend to be involved in them against the bigger clubs. Look at our game against Leeds start of the season. Look at the game against Manchester United at the weekend. I think it's going to be a mad one. I do. I think it's going to be one of these Premier League mental midweek games. So 4-2 is what I'm going with for the score. I hope, obviously, it's less goals conceded and more goals scored. The more the merrier. But this is the 11 that I predict Jurgen Klopp will go with. Keeping in mind, of course, the League Cup final coming up the weekend. So, in goal, Alisson, Canade and Van Dijk. That's my centre-back pairing. As always, if that's Joe Gomez, if that's Joe Matip, I'm absolutely sound with it because we've got a great collection of centre-backs. Whomever Kloppo picks, they'll do the job and they'll do it fine. Left back, bring back in Andy Robertson. It was great to be able to trust Costas to come in and play against Norwich and give Robbo a rest. And of course, Trent got a rest as well. So I expect those boys to come back. And look, we need them back because we need to put the pressure on City. We win this game, 3 points. 3 points is the gap then, my friend. So massive that we get the result. And of course, to carry that momentum in to the League Cup final against Chelsea on Sunday. In midfield, I'm wrapping Thiago up in cotton wool unless he's absolutely necessary. In case of emergency, break glass and bring on Thiago. Any other scenario, leave him on the bench, let him rest up, have him ready for the Chelsea game. So I'm going to go for Fabinho in the Houlden midfield role, Harvey Elliott on the right hand side because I fully expect Hendo to start the League Cup final. So Elliott on the right and Naby Keita on the left. That's how I'd start the game. Of course, as with recent weeks, Klopp may have to look to the bench to change the game later on. And the good news is that we've got a pretty goddamn good bench at the minute. So again, I'm all down with that. Up top though, I've gone heavy. Luis Diaz on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right, and Sadio Mane through the centre. And the reason I say Sadio and not Jota is, again, just giving Diogo every opportunity to be fit and ready to go for the game against Chelsea at the weekend. So there you can see it. Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo at left back, Van Dijk and Kanate at centre back, Fabinho, Elliott, Naby Keita, Luis Diaz, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. And that, to me, my friends, should get the job done. So that's what I'm thinking. Boom. Volume, no problem. I can raise the volume. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. Yeah, volume looks like it's raised up. I don't know what goes on with the mic sometimes, honestly. As I said, I tested that mic just before I started. And then boom, it turned off again. So I'll add the mic up a bit more just to make sure that you guys are hearing the audio okay. Hopefully that should be okay now. That's up pretty high. Origi up top, said Joshua. Mate, I'm absolutely sound if Divock plays. I was saying this last night on the show with Paddy and Chris. If Divock plays, I'm all for it. You know, I think Divock looked bright when he came on for a couple of minutes there during the week. Or, excuse me, at the weekend. And yeah, Divock will do a job, no doubt about it. If Divock plays through the centre and he wants to rest Mane or he wants to rest Luis Diaz and pull Sadio up on the left, sound. I'm all good. To me, I think we win this game. And I hope we win it with no injuries. That's the most important thing. Let me just switch back over studios now. Oh, look, the mic's working in this one again. Shock horror. Right, cool. Right, I have an image that I need to put up there as well. And just a reminder, we will be live from 7 p.m. on Wednesday here with the build-up ahead of the game against Leeds. So, boom, that's my predict 11. That's my score prediction. I'll go back to it later on in the video for people who are coming in a little bit late. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts. My friends, how are you all feeling? I mean, life's pretty good as a Liverpool fan right now. I think the channel's flying, by the way. Thank you all for your amazing continued support. The numbers, particularly over late night news shows, the 8:45 one, it's growing and it's growing and it's growing, and I'm so proud because you know what? I love doing these shows with Paddy and Chris. I think the personality traits of the three of us play off each other really well. There again, I always enjoyed the ones with James and enjoyed the ones with Kyle, enjoyed the ones with who else we had? Steve, enjoyed the ones with Jack. But I think there's something special about the group that we have right now. And I'm very proud of the lads, and I think they've made a great addition to the Anfield Agenda team. So I want to say thank you again to you guys for all of your support, because we're continuing to grow, go from strength to strength, and it's only because of you guys, so thank you. Right, what have we got? I think Mo will get a rest before the final, said Lewis Connolly. Again, I'm sound if he does, but I don't know, you know. I think maybe Mo will want to get himself a goal. He'll want to make sure that he continues to push ahead in that golden boot race, excuse me. And as Kloppo keeps saying, the man's a machine. He's a different breed, Mohamed Salah. Same with Sadio as well. They just want to play. And yeah, I'd just say, look, I understand where you're coming from and wanting to wrap Mo up in cotton wool. I get it. But he'd want to, I think he'll want to play. He'll want to score. But look, yeah, sometimes players need to be protected from themselves. But we'll wait and see. Yes, and RIP to Jamal Edwards as well. You guys may have seen this. He passed away. I think it was SB.TV was the musical channel he created. Helped launch careers the likes of Ed Sheeran and stuff, I believe. I didn't know the gentleman personally, but it is always incredibly sad when we lose somebody at 31 years of age. So yeah, our thoughts, our love, our condolences, of course, go out to Jamal's family and friends. And yeah, I mean, just nothing else to say other than extremely sad. Yeah, not the news you want to hear, but it's a cruel world at times, my friends. Any new show tonight? Yes, 8:45. Myself, Chris, and Paddy with Cop the Week, which is our Monday night show. Our biggest show on the entire channel, actually. Cop the Week on Monday nights. They usually do pretty good numbers. Injury news on this or tonight's show? There isn't really any injury news to speak of after. Jota looks like it's good news on him. Injury not as bad as first feared. Bobby Firmino, it's vague. None of us really know. All we've heard is the same as you, that it's a muscle? What the fuck's a muscle? A muscle injury that's keeping him out. We don't know after that. Great to hear Klopp say Jota and Bobby could be fit for the final. Brilliant. I hope so. I mean, be nice to go through more than 2 weeks without having any injury concerns. And yeah, look, our squad right now is phenomenal. And I think it's only going to get better. I'd seen a couple of bits and pieces as well suggesting that United were apparently trying to hijack the deal for Fabio Carvalho. And look, if you're Carvalho and you look at what's going on at United right now, you're going to go to Liverpool, aren't you? You know, that deal, as far as I'm concerned, is sewn up anyway, but I have to talk about it because there was a little report, so yeah. What about Jones? I don't know what's going on there, Rio. Does anybody else have any news they've read on Curtis Jones? It's not unusual for managers to bring in a player who's 21, 22, 23, perhaps sometimes, and bring them in, give them a spell, bring them back out. But I thought Jones had really established himself now as a first teamer, and I know we have a full complement of players outside of Bobby right now, but yeah, it's been strange not seeing him in the matchday squads at all. Liam said, "How's the fam?" All good, yeah, all good. Thank you, my man. Healthy, fit, and on their midterm from school, so both of them. So yeah, it's all good. He said they look great, but they are waiting for some time. Thank you very much, Bogeyman. Appreciate that. Or Boogeyman, sorry, that's even better, isn't it? In summoning your inner Nulon there, my friend. I think Jones has just fallen down the pecking order, said Rafter. Yeah, again, it's surprising though, isn't it? Because I don't really think he's done too much wrong. Like, I can think of the League Cup game, or excuse me, the FA Cup game, where he was taking pot shots and, trying to force things a little bit. That wasn't his best game. But apart from that, I think Jones has done all right. I want to just touch on James Milner for a second, because a lot of talk about James Milner's proposed one-year extension. And it does seem to be that the consensus amongst the greater base of Liverpool fans is that we're all sound, but we just expect, because of the limited playing time, James Milner to probably take a reduced wage in the contract. So look, we wait to see what happens, but it certainly does point to the fact that James Milner could be offered another deal for a year. And look, if Milner takes... Look, how do I say this? None of us have anything against Jimmy Milner. What a man. What probably the greatest free transfer that the club has had in my lifetime. Maybe, yeah, I'd say he's up there, probably the best free transfer. But I guess we're just worried about the wages and how the wages could impact the summer business. And if they can find a way to balance the books, so they can find a way to keep James Milner involved while not impacting whatever the Klopp's plans are for the summer, great. None of us want to say goodbye to James Milner, but he will have very, very limited playing time, I would imagine, next season, because Hendo's already starting to be in and out a little bit. We have other players coming through like Tyler Morton. We've got Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott's now back. Naby Keita's still at the club. Thiago's at the club. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's at the club. So, there are plenty of options there for the manager. And whilst I'm sure it's absolutely abundantly clear that James Milner would benefit any squad, being in and around the younger players, being in and around, given his experience, the wealth of experience that Milner has picked up during his time in the Premier League. Yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens. But I don't think Milner will retire. Even Klopp was saying, Alex, that he'd be very surprised if Jimmy Milner isn't playing football next season. There was a couple of links as well to Aston Villa, but hey, look, let's just wait and see what happens. The big contract news we're all eagerly waiting on is, of course, that of Mohamed Salah, and again, I got nothing. Like everybody else, I got nothing. I got nothing on that one. Yeah, he's up there with Gary Mack as well. That's a good show. And Joel Matip, we can't forget about Matip, another great free transfer we brought in from Schalke. The Gary Mack one will always hold a special place in my heart, Danielle, because that was the season where, obviously, we won the treble in 2001, but also the year where we shithoused Everton with that Gary Mack free kick, where he pinched about 15 yards. And if my memory is right, and it usually isn't, because I'm an idiot, but if my memory is right, I think that free kick Gary Mack scored basically guaranteed us Champions League football, if my memory is correct, which just shows the significance of that moment to the development of the football club. I think they'll give Milner a job of some sort at Liverpool. The thing is, though, Michael, I'm sure that would be absolutely on the table for Jimmy Milner. No doubt about it. What club wouldn't want Milner involved in coaching and stuff like that? But, if Jimmy wants to carry on playing football, your career is short enough. So if Milner wants to carry on playing football, you couldn't blame him, because he's still fit. He's still abundantly fit. You can see that. Just wondering, why is only Monday night stream with Paddy and Chris called Cop the Week? Because the show used to be myself and Steve and Paddy, or myself and Steve and James, or myself and Steve and Jack, and it was the only day of the week kind of that Steve was on. So we called it Cop the Week because it was the day Steve was on. Unfortunately, Steve at the minute's very busy with life and hasn't got any free time, so we've just rejigged the lineup a little bit, but that's basically why. Is there still going to be a stream tonight? Yes, 8:45, my man. How come United's red shirts are 10 times better looking than Liverpool's? They're not though, Jensk. So, there is that. United shirts look this season to me like a shirt that they left over red Adidas tops and they just wanted to know what to do with them. I love the Liverpool shirts. I love them under New Balance. I'm not overly gone on the ones under Nike so far, if I'm being really honest with you. But hey ho, we'll wait and see. But I think United shirts have been god awful in recent years, Jens, if I'm being really truthful. Rayan said, Rafinha or Bowen? Now, I was reading an article about this yesterday. I think it was in The Athletic where they were looking at... No, actually, I lied to you. I think it was actually in The Echo. And they were looking at the possibility of Rafinha and Bowen. And Rafinha seems to have tailed off a little bit so far this season. Now, obviously, Rafinha is a quality player. I've always thought Jared Bowen would be the better fit. But I'm not going to complain if Liverpool are out there looking to bring in Rafinha. Another person who made his comeback, who's a player I've great admiration for and I think would do really well at Liverpool, is of course Pedro Neto, who made his comeback for Wolves in their 2-1 victory over Leicester, I think about 10 months out, if my memory's right. So, I wouldn't mind him either. Anthony, I have my doubts on Anthony, and not my doubts about him as a player, by the way, sorry, that came across wrong. I have my doubts about our interest in Anthony just yet. I don't think he has enough experience in Europe for Liverpool to really look at him just yet. So I think this is his second season with Ajax, but I think in his first season, he was in between the 23s and the first team. This is the first year he's really kind of staked his claim at Ajax. And I say we'll definitely keep monitoring and keep looking at him, but I don't see it just yet. I think he's just it's a little bit too premature to maybe bring him in. But the one that we're all worrying about or wondering about is, of course, na 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 na. Hey, do. Yeah, I think you probably know who I'm talking about there. Yeah, Jude. He's the one I'm waiting to really figure out news on. And Dortmund aren't. I know they won 6-0 against Mönchengladbach, but they're beating at their own gaff. Beaten in their own gaff by Rangers. So we'll wait and see, because look, if this is what Dortmund look like without Haaland, I think Jude will be probably looking for a way out. And it looks like we know Dortmund are going to bring in not Daniel Malen, they've already brought him in, Karim Adeyemi. So there you go. One choice, Craig, a win Wednesday night at the League Cup final. 100% the League Cup final. 100%. Nobody will ever remember if we beat Leeds United in 2-3 years' time. But we'll all remember if we won the League Cup. Not because I think it's this mad, big, great competition, but a trophy's a trophy's a trophy. And winning breeds winning confidence, you know. So, yeah, I want us to pick up all the trophies we can on the club. So, yeah, if this is a springboard on Sunday, if we win it, because it's going to be a difficult game. Honestly, I think this is a real 50-50 final. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go all the way, to see it go to penalties. In which case, again, I would say it's 50-50 if it goes to penalties. I feel like we should just trust our scouting team. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. We've no reason to doubt our scouting team. Look at the business they are doing. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Mick said beating Leeds is more important. Is it though, Mick? So, I mean, beating Leeds is a hypothetical because it doesn't guarantee anything. It guarantees pressure on Manchester City, absolutely. But let's say, Mick, just as an example, let's say we beat Leeds and City still go on to win the Premier League. We'll always look back at it and go, shit, that was a trophy we could have had, you know. So, yes, there's no doubting that Wednesday night's important. Of course it is. We've wrestled ourselves back into this position from being 12 points behind Manchester City to now potentially 3. And we have to travel to the Etihad, and they have to play Manchester United and Everton. So you never know, even though the Blue Shite look like they're ready to roll over and have their bellies tickled, at least if their fans' behaviour, the usual behaviour, whenever there's any sign of Liverpool challenging for something, they're always ready to be rolled over and relegated just to spite Liverpool. God bless them. God bless their little hearts. David Roberts, how are you, my man? Said Craig, I reckon Klopp will extend his contract. Oh my god, man, that's freaky. I was only thinking about that last night, David, and I haven't thought about that in ages. He's seen how good our youngsters are, along with a few more signings he's building. I wondered that. Well, I kind of wondered it in a different context, David, but I was thinking last night, you know the way, we all do it. You know, men and women out there who like football, we all do this. We all have this mock interview thing in our head, you know, where we're pretending we're being interviewed by the BBC or whatever. But yeah, I was doing this mock interview inside my own head, and I was just wondering if we'll see Jude Bellingham maybe want those reassurances, or let's say Rafinha or Bowen was to come in. Would they want that reassurance? Would they want to know what the club's future is going to look like past 2024? And look, if we're talking about next season, you're into 22-23, and then, you know, Klopp has 2 seasons to go. So, like you, David, I have my fingers crossed, my man, that we get this sorted out and that Klopp signs. Oh, I really hope he does, particularly with it looking more and more likely that Pep will disappear in a season or two. It would be lovely to have Klopp sign on an extension. That would be, fuck me, that would be unbelievable. Jude or Mbappe? Why play that game, mate? Why play the game? Salah contract, do you think it gets sorted out? You know what? I don't know. So I've gone back and forth on. Of course, I want it sorted out. God, of course, yeah, of course, I want Mo to be signed up, 100%. No doubt about that in my mind. But I just wonder what the plan is. And like you, once bitten, twice shy, folks. So I'm just wondering if FSG are trying to see what the lay of the land is in the transfer market before committing to this, because there's a couple of variables that need to be factored in when we're looking at the Mo situation. Obviously, we need to know if we're bringing in another forward already. We need to know if Mane or Firmino will move on. We need to know, for instance, what will happen with Kylian Mbappe. I say that not because I think we're signing Mbappe, but because, let's say they lost Mbappe to Real Madrid. Would PSG then look towards Liverpool maybe for a Mane or a Salah? So would that then, you know, make it more difficult for the club to negotiate? Or are the club playing a very risky game of thinking that Mohamed Salah's options won't be that great? And by that I mean, of course, there'll be clubs that want to sign Mo, but clubs that could genuinely challenge like Liverpool can at the top end of Europe, there's only a handful of them. Barca probably don't have the money, and they're looking to put together a really, really lucrative package for Haaland at the minute. Real Madrid clearly want to bring in Kylian Mbappe. Manchester City will look for a striker. Will that striker end up being Harry Kane again? We wait and see, but we won't sell them Salah. We know that much. So then who else can he go to? He's not really a Bayern Munich type of signing. That's not really the way they go about things. They seem to be setting their stall out with younger players as well. So I don't know. I hope it gets sorted, but like all of you, I'm starting to get a little bit tetchy about it. Is the Leeds game being televised? No, it is not being televised, for those that aren't aware. As always, you know, I've told you guys before, get yourself set up with a VPN. You know, our friends at Surfshark can help you out with that. But yeah, no, it's not. I'll have to be using the old Canadian DAZN trick to watch the game on Wednesday. And don't forget, by the way, if you win any money on SPITCH, do let me know, because I love to know if people win a few bob, and there's 70 grand each week, up to 70 grand in the prize pool. You can play it for free if you're a UK resident. Again, link is in the description. Thank you to SPITCH. 18 plus, do have your ID ready on sign up. It is being televised if you know what to do. Well, yeah, exactly, my man. It's not televised legally in the UK or Ireland, let's put it that way. But it is available if you know where to look. Precisely, as Norton has said there. I hope we smashed goal difference may be important at the end of the season. We say this every year and it never is. It never is important. I think, is the Aguero moment that season City won the first one, is that the only time it's come into play in the Premier League? Is it not on Premier Sports? No. It's on Premier Sports, Owen is saying. Right, hang on. You know what? I'll test this theory out right now. If it is on Premier Sports, happy days, but I'll check it for you now. Let me just, 1 second. I'll put the TV on and check it for you. So bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to check now. Some are saying it is. If it is, fucking happy days for me. But yeah, let me just check. I'm checking it right now. And if it is on Premier Sport, brilliant. If you're in Ireland, happy days. But if you're not in Ireland, it's not on Sky. It's 100% not on Sky. Right, so what day is it? Tomorrow, Wednesday. Sorry, go across the sport actually. Right, TV guide, sports. Right, so Sheffield United Blackburn's on Sky, so defo ain't that. No, Sheffield United Cardiff on that. No, it's not on. It's not on Premier Sport. I'm looking through them all now just to make sure. No. No, there's ice hockey on Premier Sport. No, it's not on anywhere. It's not on TV in the UK or Ireland. So I can confirm that. Haven't checked it out now. Every team will beat Leeds at least 4-2 even away, said Jensk. Yeah, I mean, we're used to winning 5-0 away, Jensk, if you know what I mean, mate. You know what I mean, don't you? 5, by the way. A draw, Gaff. What about BT Sports? No, not on BT Sports. They have the Champions League games on, Alex. You know, it's very unusual that there are Premier League games on when there's Champions League games on. It's only happening over the last couple of weeks because there's teams that have games in hand that they need to catch up on. So yeah, not on Premier, not on Sky, not on BT. It was supposed to be on BT, but the Champions League interferes. There you go. So, again, if you need to watch the game, we'll find. We can tell you more about it. We can tell you more about it on the day. But right now, we've a different sponsor, so we got to play fair. Wade said, I think Curtis could get some game minutes in this game. Oxenabi getting theirs. Yeah, look, he hasn't been in the last 3 matchday squads, so I have no problem if he does get some. What's with these new emojis? Connor designed them and stuck them in to reward people for, you know, their support of the channel. And look, if you do want to become a member, you can click the blue join button or have a look at the link in the description. You do get use of all the emojis. Paddy and Chris have joined our Discord group as well. By the way, I gave them the link yesterday. So they will be in there as well, which is another good reason. If you want to interact with myself, Paddy or Chris. I would say Connor, but he's never in it, to be fair. So yes, do make sure that you sign up to Anfield Agenda FC. Watch out on Dan James. No, he's shy. We don't need to worry about Dan James, mate. No, honestly, he's shit. I no joke, haha, chuckles. I'm not trying to banter anybody. He's awful. He's just like the Roadrunner. Meep, meep. And just no end product. So, I won't worry in the slightest about Dan James. What's my score prediction? 4-2. Yeah, 4-2. Again, I'll switch back over real quick for those that didn't see the score prediction and the starting 11 prediction. There you go. That's my score prediction, 4-2 to the Reds. My team prediction, Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo left back, Van Dijk and Kanade is centre back positions, Fabinho, Elliott and Keita in midfield, with Diaz, Mane and Salah up top. That's my guess at it. So we'll wait and see how wrong I am. I mean, I'm all right on the last few, to be fair. I've been okay. We need a Paddy and Chris emoji. Why? The emojis are mainly used for the watch-alongs and they'll never on them, so and we only have a certain amount of space for emojis. But look, I'm sure Connor can work at it. Yeah. Connor designs all these things. I didn't even know he was getting new ones done, to be fair. What do I think will be the final score at the weekend? Said Owen. I think I'll go to penalties. I think it's going all the way. I'm going to go 2-2. And then all the way to penalties. I genuinely believe this is a 50-50 game. I wouldn't play Naby. He looks a bit iffy. I'd start with Naby Zayn just because... Well, look, it could be Curtis Jones. And if Curtis Jones starts left side of midfield, I'm fine as well. Basically, I'm just trying to find a way to wrap Thiago and Hendo up in cotton wool for the League Cup final here. So that's kind of led into my my team selection. Wade said Origi will start the game. Been speaking to Jurgen, Wade, have you? No, just hold you this on the QT. I don't care. If Divock starts, welcome Lord Divock. You know what I mean? I'm sound. Honestly, I feel so confident right now with this group of players that whomever takes to the field will get the job done. That's genuinely how I feel. I've so much belief now in this group that yeah, I think we'll get the job done no matter what. And I think Leeds will be a little bit mentally and physically tired after their exertions against United a day after we played as well. So we do have some time on them recovery wise, and of course we're at home. So Penn, Salah versus Mendy. I don't know if Mendy will play in the League Cup final. Irfan, I'm almost certain that Kepa will play. Same way, Queven Kelleher is going to play for us in the League Cup final. Liz said your lineup predictions have gotten a lot better. Yeah, I've been close a lot recently, actually. Twitch or YouTube for Sunday? Twitch for the final. Yes, we will be doing a watch along of the final live from my house with myself, Connor, Paddy, and my son Lucas is going to be joining us as well. So yeah, that'll be on Twitch. And the good news is we'll have some giveaways for you guys as well. So make sure that you are tuned in because we've got a company on board to give us some giveaways. So again, always looking to say thank you to you guys for your support. Why is Elliott starting ahead of Curtis? Because he's a better player. Like, I don't mean to be blunt about it, Degreasy, but he is a better player. Harvey Elliott will. Curtis Jones is a very, very, very good midfield player. Very good. Can play even further attacking forward left hand side. But I honestly believe that Harvey Elliott has the potential to be. I mean, I don't want to overblow this, but top 10 in the world. Honestly, that's how highly I rate Harvey Elliott. I love the kid. And I love Curtis Jones as well. But I don't think he will have as good a career as Harvey will. My opinion. Any update on Jota and Bobby? It looks like fairly good news, Liam, on both of them. We know that Jota's injury isn't as bad as the club feared. And there's a good bit of news coming around as well with regards to Bobby that, you know, he could be potentially available at the weekend. Although, you know, we wait and see. Thiago's been absolutely brilliant since he came back from injury, said Glenn. Yes, and look, there's some people who still trying to say that Thiago's a waste of money. I don't get it. Look, I've always understood that Thiago's not going to be somebody that plays 50 games a season when he came in. But we only paid 25 million quid for Thiago. And for me, if he's available for the big games in the Champions League, if he's available for the major games like Manchester City away, the League Cup final, I'm down with that. I'm down with him playing 30 games a season. Will Jota be available this weekend? It looks as though he will, Neil. I don't expect him to play tomorrow night, but you never know with Kloppo, could be surprised. But yes, I believe he'll be available for the weekend, which is great news because, you know, Diogo Jota's been amazing. What time will the League Cup final coverage start? So I'd say we'll probably do a team news announcement show on YouTube at about, is it 4:30 kickoff for the final? So I'd say we'll start on Twitch about 45 minutes beforehand, and we'll start an hour and 15 minutes beforehand on YouTube for the team news announcement video. So we'll do half an hour on YouTube, and then we'll swap back over to Twitch for the watch along. Thiago was a bargain if you look at what we paid for Ox, yes. But look, Thiago for 25 million was just perfect. I think it was a price point that I think we all felt comfortable with for the quality of player we were getting, and we all knew that he wouldn't play 50 games a season. So I think it was fair. I think it was good value, and I think it was another masterstroke from the recruitment team to bring in somebody of that caliber, of that technique, of that elite level to just help us through the big parts of the season. And he's a winner. Can't have too many winners in your squad, you know. What keeper do you think will start? For when? The League Cup final, 100% Queven Kelleher starting. Klopp said that much. If we're talking about tomorrow or Wednesday night, it'll be Alisson. Puskas is a god, said Thiago's a fantastic signing. Keita and Knox, meanwhile, have been underwhelming. Yes, but I don't know if I'm being biased on this, but dare I say they're starting to see shoots of promise from Naby, fitness-wise. But again, I don't want to tempt fate. Neil reckons Thiago's gotten physically fitter. That's why he's playing much better. Yeah, he looks mustard at the minute, doesn't he? He looks He's just, you could see the difference he made when he came on in at the game of the weekend against Norwich. Immediately, we looked transformed. Same with Jordan Henderson. They played a huge impact. I think top substitutions over the last couple of games have been fantastic. Yeah, A1. We've been critical of Klopp leaving it a bit too long at some points during his managerial reign at Liverpool, but I think the last couple of games spot on, and they have had the impact that he wanted. People are saying Thiago's a flop on Twitter. Look, it's fucking Twitter. I don't know what. There's only so many times I can keep saying the same thing about Twitter. There are, of course, amazing people on Twitter, but there are far too many fucking omadons on Twitter, so I wouldn't pay any attention to it. Diaz is a couple of big performances from being a worldie. I mean, he shows up big style in the final. It'll all be eyes on Diaz, says Norton Kelly. Yeah, look, Luis Diaz. That goal he scored was, I mean, all the goals we scored against Norwich, every single one of them were fantastic for different reasons. The first goal was a lovely spreaded ball out to left hand side by Hendo, a nice cushion header across by Costas, and a beautiful over the shoulder scissors kick volley from Sadio, which still amazes me because, you know, that's such a Sadio type of goal, isn't it? Only Sadio, I think, could come up with something like that. And then Mohamed Salah's goal was a mixture of amazing distribution by Alisson and just composed, calm, you know, killer instinct from Mohamed Salah. And then the final goal was down to Jordan Henderson's vision and execution of his pass. And, of course, Luis Diaz run and tremendous finish. So, yeah, it's exciting times. I mean, wow. Just, I'm so fucking happy right now. So happy. Ox needs to go. What's this? Ox needs to go. Chris even agreed. Look, you know, Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't have a great game against Norwich. I think I was fairly vocal about that. But I think, in fairness, on the balance of it over the entire season, I think Ox has done okay. But yes, if you put me a straight shootout between him and Naby over who will get a contract, I think I'd protect Naby's value ahead of Oxlade-Chamberlain's, if I'm being really honest. But just, I don't want to be negative at the minute. I know in the moment, if somebody misses a shot, I'm like, oh, you're a shit house or whatever. But in the big picture, I'm so happy right now with where the club is. I think we're all pulling in the same direction. It's just from top to bottom. Like, there are little signs that are coming out of Manchester City that make me think that they're a bit wobbly. You know, there are a few things coming out about their players, and I just think we're in a good place. I think everyone's together. We're focused. Thankfully, everybody's fit and healthy at the minute. Um, and look, we feared Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Naby Keita heading off to the AFCON, but we won all the league games, progressed in the competitions when they're over there, and have reigned back in Manchester City. And look, to me, I think Manchester City still favourites for the Premier League, but I'm certainly more on board with the possibility of us turning over this 12-point deficit and giving them a run for their money. And look, if you would have asked me 3 months ago, would I take this position if we beat Leeds to be 3 points within striking distance of City with potentially a little bit better goal difference, I'd have bitten your hand off for it. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Thiago's key talent for me is his vision to pick a pass or take a shot. Yeah, did you see that ball to the, I think it was the Costas, a no-look switch from Thiago from just, I'd say right to left, but it was just right of centre to left. It was sublime. The man is just amazing. I don't know what else to say. There are very few players in the world that I would say could dictate the tempo of a football game, but he's one of them. He absolutely just runs it when he comes on. Do you think we'll sign Rafinha? Said David. I think there's more likelihood of a signing Rafinha than Jared Bowen, but I would still prefer us to sign Jared Bowen than Rafinha, although I'd be very happy with both. If Rafinha has dropped off a little bit from the start of the season, yes, he scored a goal against United, but his form seems to have dropped off a bit. I don't know if it's because he's distracted, if maybe, you know, he's thinking about his future and his place in the Brazilian squad. I don't know. But either way, as was pointed out in the chat earlier on, I absolutely support and believe and trust the recruitment staff. whoever Klopp wants, whoever Linders wants, whoever Kravitz wants, whoever Michael Edwards and Julian Ward wants, let it be. Class is permanent. Rafinha is better than Bowen, although both are great. They're both class in different ways for me, Jacob. I think Rafinha is a better technical footballer, but Jared Bowen, I love his work rate. I love anyone that works really, really hard. And I'm not accusing Rafinha of not working hard, but Bowen just looks like to me a player that will continuously improve throughout his career. And the higher he goes, I think the better that improvement will be. So it'd be very difficult to get him out of West Ham as well. You know, particularly I think he's in. I think he signed a 6-year contract, if my memory is right, at West Ham. And also, you know, they're pushing for European football this season themselves. Do we need a right back in the summer to cover Trent? It depends what's happening with Nico Williams and how the club view Connor Bradley's progression, or where Connor Bradley may play moving forward, because there's a train of thought that thinks that Connor Bradley could move to midfield. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if Nico moved on fully, if maybe, you know, we found a move to a Premier League club, or he was happy with Fulham and signed on there, then yes, I would say we'll probably look to bring in a right back. But it's a difficult sell, isn't it? Like, imagine saying to the right back, "Yeah, no, no, we want you to come in and challenge Trent." You know, you're gonna have to be very confident to do that. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to run. I will see you boys and girls at 8:45 tonight for Cop the Week with myself, Mr. Paddy Murphy, and Mr. Chris Stonage. Thank you again. Shout out to our sponsors of this new show, SPITCH. Don't forget, you can get rid of that. You can download the SPITCH app if you are a resident of the UK, 18 years or older, with the link in the description. And again, thank you to SPITCH for their support. Thank you to you guys as always. Do hit that subscribe button before you head off. Drop a like on the video, and I'll see you. We'll have a bit of fun tonight at 8:45.